Well, folks, here we are again for the weekly forecast. Before we get to the main forecast, of course, let's do a brief summary of what happened in the last 7-day period. And of course, the big news was that we did see a system move through the center part of the country during the midweek period and is pivoting slowly toward the eastern seaboard and expected to merge with Hurricane Sandy that's running up the eastern seaboard to create a pretty powerful storm over the northeastern United States. For us proper, what we've seen was anywhere from 2 to approximately 4 inches of snowfall, very common across the Panhandle, north central, and even into northeastern Nebraska, with the snow line making its way down to about halfway between Grand Island and Broken Bow, and then south of that was more in the area of just basically rainfall with some scattered thunderstorms in the east. So overall, we were looking anywhere from about 0.2 of an inch equivalent moisture across portions of western Nebraska to approximately 3/4 of an inch in some of the thunderstorms that hit eastern Nebraska. Now, we're not expecting any significant moisture during this next 7-day period, but we'll be turning our attention late in the period to another storm system moving into the western United States that may actually start to impact us as we go into next weekend or early in the following week. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we can expect in terms of our weather as we go through the next 7-day period. And I'll draw your attention to here's the upper air trough with a very cold air sinking in. It's going to be a very, very cool day today. If you're going to the game in Lincoln, of course, against Michigan, expect that by game time we'll be seeing temperatures that will probably be in the low 40s. By the time we get to the end of the game, we're probably looking at the upper 30s, and we might actually see a few flurries as a piece of energy moves across. It doesn't look like any significant moisture, but we may see a few sprinkles make it to the surface, particularly as we get past the midnight hour. Now, as we go into the day on Sunday, we're going to see Sandy making its way up toward the northeast. Here comes this trough starting to really dig down. That's going to keep the cool airflow into our region. We're not expecting anything in the way of moisture, so we'll see a slight rebound in temperatures, with just a chance for some scattered sprinkles across extreme northeastern and east central Nebraska as another piece of energy pivots around this upper air trough. And then as we get into the day on Monday, this system starts to energize, pulls Sandy together, and starts to bomb out in the northeastern United States, deepening, and we could see 2 to 3 foot of snowfall before the system is all done in the extreme northeastern United States, with some heavy wave action and flooding rainfall all along the eastern seaboard. As we go into Tuesday, we'll see this ridge building in our region, starts a warming trend ever so slightly. We don't expect any precipitation, just one little wave that might bring, again, a chance for flurry activity across eastern Nebraska. Now, as we go into Wednesday, looks like the ridge builds in, and one more piece of energy pivots southeastward that might again bring some scattered precipitation in northeast Nebraska. Again, looking at very, very light totals. As we go into Thursday, now the ridge starts building in our region. We get much warmer temperatures, and as we get into the day on Friday, here comes the next approaching trough that may bear watching for possibility of accumulating snowfall. 8 to 14-day forecast brings cool conditions to the east in terms of precipitation. We are looking at a dry trend to our south.